Hello, I introduce myself as Dr. S. Arzo, Professor, Department of Microscope of Technology, IIT Belagavi. In continuation with limits continuity, we will continue with the examples on differentiability. Differentiability is also one of the important concepts which tells you whether there is geometrically unique tangent exists as a point. So continuity does not always imply differentiability, as you know very well in case of modulus functions. And there are so many other functions. So the behavior of the function should be such that you can only draw a unique tangent. So that is the meaning of differentiability. So let us look at the first example on differentiability, which is quite useful for CET. Yes, if fx is equal to sin x cos x, x belongs to 0, phi, 0 to 2 pi, then the total number of points where fx is not differentiable is, so we have to now consider not differentiable. So first thing is, here it is mentioned that x mod sin x in bracket, cos x in square bracket. So if it is given, it is all right. Otherwise, you have to understand that it is about the greatest integer function. So please remember, they stand for greatest integer function. So as you know, the greatest integer function have only problems when there is a function tending to 0. So when you approach from right hand side, it will have some value different, and from left hand side, it will have different value. So values will differ only at LHS and RHS at the function value 0. So accordingly, when sin becomes 0, we have to see, and when cos becomes 0, we have to see. And it is not difficult to see that it can only happen for 3 values, 0, 2 pi and pi. Whereas in case of cos, it will only happen pi by 2 and 3 pi by 2. So definitely at these 5 points, correct, there is a problem of differentiability. So the points where it is not differentiable, it is C5, correct? So we have to only look at zeros of functions. So remember, when there is a differentiability problem, it will correspond to limit problem, and accordingly we'll have a problem when there is a 0. And in that case, you have to mark the points where there is a function taking 0 values. Let us look at the next problem on differentiability. Yes, the set of points where the function fx is equal to root x plus 1 minus 1 divided by x raised to 3 by 2, x is not equal to 0. This is the way it is defined for not 0. 0 when x is equal to 0. Now you have to find out where it is differentiable. So where it is differentiable, we have to find. Okay. Now, first thing is 0 is a concern for us. So let us look at 0. So what we will do is, because f of 0 is given as 0, we'll see whether the limit exists at the point. Okay. So for that, differentiability we have to check. So we will see what is the derivative at 0 plus. So what we'll do is, we'll find limit h tends to 0, f of 0 plus h minus f of 0 divided by h. This is the right hand limit or right hand derivative, you can say. So this is going to become limit h tending to 0, root h plus 1 minus 0, because f of 0 is 0, divided by h raised to 3 by 2. So this expression, you can find the limit by rationalization. So quickly you can do rationalization here also. So what is the rationalizing factor? It is root h plus 1 plus 1. This is h raised to 3 by 2. So this becomes 1, because h plus 1 minus 1, it will be the numerator because root goes. So it becomes 1 by h raised to 3 by 2. And there is one more h, if you remember. There is one more h which is going to be coming here. So it will be h raised to 5 by 2 into root h plus 1 plus 1. So it becomes then tends to infinity, because as limit h tends to 0, the value will tend to infinity. So there is no chance that it will match the value which is 0. So there is no chance. Hence, function is not differentiable at 0. So you cannot include the point 0, means you can only take the interval 0 to infinity. So please remember, this way you have to manage the right hand derivative or left hand derivative. It's your choice. It's not a problem. Any derivative you can select to prove that the value does not match, thus giving the answer C0 infinity. Closed interval not possible, and R also not possible. R minus 0 is also not possible. possible, because minus side also there will be a problem, because there is a x raised to 3 by 2 term in the denominator. So please note that other options are also not correct. Okay, the negative option is not to be considered, because it is minus 3 by 2, it becomes complex, hence it is discarded. Next problem. Yes, this is also an interesting example. Fx is equal to x upon 1 plus mod x for x belongs to all the real numbers. What you have to check is what is the value of f dash 0. Please note that fx will become x upon 1 minus x if x is negative, and it will become x upon 1 plus x if x is positive. As you know, mod x becomes minus x if x is negative, and mod x remains x if x is positive. Depending upon that, we have. Now, finding the value of f dash x, let us see what is the value of x, that is f dash of 0. So let us first find f dash x for x negative. So what is the value? Quickly you can differentiate. It is 1 minus x into x. There is other option also. So this becomes 1 minus x into 1, sorry, minus x. So it will be minus x plus x on. So it is 1 by 1 minus x square. So f dash 0 becomes 1. You can similarly show that f dash 0 is 1 even if you take x upon 1 plus x as a function. So you can have some other option also, but it is very easy to see that the derivative becomes 1 plus x minus x divided by 1 plus x the whole square, which is 1 over 1 plus x the whole square. Therefore, f dash 0 remains 1 even from the positive side. Hence, f dash 0 is 1. B is the correct choice. You have to mark the answer. F dash 0 is 1. So what is the other option? If you want to make it a bit shorter, so let us look at x upon 1 minus x. So you can write it as 1 minus x. So because it is plus x, I write 1 upon 1 minus x minus x. So this becomes quite handy when you write like this. So that when you take the derivative, it becomes so easy to write it as 1 upon 1 minus x square. No need to simplify in u by v format. The same way you can write x upon 1 plus x also, which is rather very easily written as 1 minus 1 by 1 plus x. So both ways you can evaluate the answer and it will be always 1. Just let's take the next example on differentiability. Yes, it is regarding mod sin x. So what it says, it is continuous for any value of x but is not differentiable at. Okay, so here the knowledge of sin x curve is very important. So if you know sin x curve, if you start from 0 and go on the positive x axis, you will be having this shape. You know mod sin x exactly taking the reflection along the x-axis. So you know that mod makes it all positive, it makes above the x-axis, correct? So because of this, mod sin x function will have continuity, no problem. Function has same value, that is not a problem. Everywhere function is having the same value, everywhere. But the problem about differentiability, so when it comes about differentiability, then you can notice that at these points, there is a left-hand side, right-hand side, left-hand side, right-hand side. There is no unique tangent. So where it happens, there is no unique tangent. It happens at all the values such as 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, etc. And even on the left hand side also. So it is not only on positive side, it is on the left hand side. So at this point, there is no unique tangent. Hence it is not differentiable at 0 and all integral values of multiples of pi. So all other three options are wrong. D is the right option, so you have to mark D. Let us look at the next example on differentiability, friends. Yes, this is a very nice example. We have a function having certain property satisfied, and there are two variables defined in the function. F of x plus y is equal to f of x into xy. Please note, it is for all the values of x and y. So irrespective of whatever you select, it will be always true. And you can see our interest is in f dash phi, f dash 5. So when you look at f dash 5, you can look at the first principal method of writing the derivative of f dash of 5. So what it says, it is f of 5 plus h minus f of 5 divided by h, increment in the function minus the original function divided by the increment. So this is limit h tends to 0. I will write it as f of 5 plus h. and I will write this also as f of 5 plus 0. Otherwise, we are not going to use what is given to us, the data given to us. So we have f of 5 plus h minus f of 5 plus 0 divided by h. Now notice what is f of 5 plus h by that way the property of the function satisfies. It says f of 5 into f of h minus f of 5 into f of 0. You can immediately see that f of 5 can be taken common and it can be taken outside the root. Now what you get inside is f of h minus f of 0 divided by h. Now what it stands for? It is precisely the derivative of f dash 0, right hand side derivative of f dash 0. Now we are given both the values of f of 5. We are given both the values of f of 5 and f dash of 0. So if you know the values, f of 5 is 2, f dash 0 is 3. So this is going to be 2 into 3 and the answer is going to be 6. So please mark the answer, which is A, which is 6, and that is the end of the solution. Please note here, it is totally depending upon the value of f of x plus y. The property f of x plus y is equal to f of x into f of y, and the first order, first principle definition of derivative at a point. If you know these two and manage to apply the property properly, definitely you will get the answer, and this is somewhat standard example in differentiability. So please practice few more examples and make sure that you don't go wrong anywhere in marking the point. So with this, I wish you all the best for the upcoming CET and wish that you score in such a way that you are always in the top ranks and you always have a choice to select from all the top